North America, on plains as wide as the sea, where the wind swirls through the dry yellow grass. Thousands of bison move slowly in heavy black masses. Their footsteps create a deep, dull sound, like a drum beat echoing from the distant past. This is an animal that was once on the verge of disappearing from the planet. But now, they're back, stronger than ever. There are about 500,000 bison living across North America. They are widely distributed, from Montana, South Dakota, Wyoming, Nebraska, to Alberta, Canada. Montana alone has over 130,000. Most live in semi-natural areas, interspersed between forests and pastures. In strictly managed reserves, densities can reach 10 animals per km squared, an astonishing number for a large animal. The North American bison, also known as bison, a true icon of the prairie. An adult weighs between 700 and 900 kilograms. Thick fur, high hunched shoulders, large head, curved and strong horns. They are powerful enough to break wooden stakes or flip off all-terrain vehicles when threatened. They can run at speeds of up to 55 kilometers per hour, faster than an athlete. Don't let their slowness fool you. They are extremely alert, reacting quickly and sensitively to every change in the wind. Just the slightest noise, the whole herd changes direction immediately. Hundreds of bodies weighing tons roll across the grassland. The sound echoes like thunder in the forest. They live in large herds, from 30 to over 200, depending on the season and the grasslands. Spring comes. When the rains have passed, the new grass begins to grow. The herd moves constantly, traveling dozens of kilometers a day in search of water and food. The buffalo herd grew too fast. They ate all the grass, trampled the fields, broke the fences. Then it flooded into farmland. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, in the last 5 years, damages have exceeded 60-80 million USD per year.
Yeah, let's not mess with it.
In 2023 alone, there were more than 1,500 traffic collisions, with agricultural damage of more than 70 million USD.
Oh shit.
A huge number, A stark reminder that the species was once nearly extinct. Now it is back, strong, wild, and out of control. The balance between humans and nature has never been so fragile. From wild icon to $80 million a year agricultural threat, do you think humans can control it? Comment your thoughts. The danger is not just physical damage. Bison are aggressive when threatened. They can attack humans if they feel cornered. An incident in July 2024 is a clear example. A young girl named Sophia was seriously injured by an adult bison while taking pictures in a national park. The incident shocked public opinion, forcing the US government to tighten regulations and implement a population control program.
Understood. Ensure all warning signs are visible.
The severe consequences they left behind made farmers realize that, if left unchecked, this iconic species could become a new ecological disaster. No more free hunting. Now, every hunter must have a legal license and a special hunting card. Limited by season. The numbers are carefully calculated. Each area has clear quotas based on the density and resilience of the steppe. The goal is not to destroy, but to maintain the delicate balance between conservation and survival, between protecting the crops and retaining the wild spirit that has been erased by humans. Sunrise in Montana. October, cold and damp. Fog so thick it obscures the distant foothills. Temperature only 2 degrees Celsius. Wind blowing down from the Rockies, bringing a biting chill. The hunters left camp at 5 a.m. before the first light touched the ground. On the bed of a sand-colored pickup truck, a group of hunters carrying large caliber rifles like the 30-06 Springfield 300 Winchester Magnum or 338 Winchester Magnum. These have enough penetrating power to take down a nearly ton animal with a single shot. Into the grasslands south of Yellowstone. They stopped. Scopes were set. The early morning light reflected off the lenses. Every decision had to be precise. They moved slowly, crouched down into the wind, using the terrain and brush for cover. Not a word, not a movement, just heartbeats, breathing, and the deep thunder of bison footsteps in the distance. In the distance, a herd of more than 20 bison was moving slowly through the mist. The leader raised his hand to signal. The group crouched down. The hunter lay flat on the ground. The barrel of his gun was steady on a tripod.
She just moved her finger back. Aim high. That got her good. smoked them.
When it reached effective range, about 120 to 150 meters. The shot rang out. Boom. Clear and decisive. The animal hit by the bullet fell to its knees, then slowly fell. The remaining herd scattered. Dust flew everywhere. The hunters stood still, their breaths mixed with the cold wind. No one spoke, just the sound of the wind blowing through the prairie and a heavy feeling in their hearts. Because they knew, every bullet fired in Montana was not just an act of control, but also a reminder of the thin line between man and nature.
I can't believe you spotted him from that far away. Oh my God! You can't even pull him up.
Each hunt is closely monitored and documented by the U.S. Wildlife Service. This keeps the bison population stable. No overshoot, no extinction. A rare management model that combines science, ethics, and practical survival. Many other countries are following suit, seeking to find a balance between humans and nature. But the debate is not over. For many, shooting a bison that weighs more than a ton is cruel. On the contrary, experts know better. If left unchecked, nature will correct itself with more severe forms of starvation, disease, and the collapse of entire grasslands. The bison remains a symbol of strength, of the wild past, and a reminder that every human decision leaves its mark on the rhythms of nature. And what about you? Do you think the bison should be preserved or controlled to protect the grasslands? Are humans helping nature balance, or are we forcing it to our will? Leave a comment, share your thoughts. Not only stopping at bison, but red foxes are also a real ecological disaster in Australia. Red foxes were introduced by humans in the 19th century to hunt animals. Now they have become a dangerous invasive species, especially in eastern and southern Australia. According to statistics from conservation organisations, the global red fox population is currently around 10–15 million individuals. Particularly in the southern hemisphere, they are an invasive species that has spread across Australia. From the dry deserts of Western Australia, across the central bush plains, to the temperate forests of New South Wales and Victoria, down to the cold savannas of southern South Australia. Small but perfect, agile, quick reflexes, amazingly adaptable. They weigh 5 to 9 kilograms, are about 90 centimeters long, with a thick tail of nearly 40 centimeters for balance and warmth. The origin of the disaster called Red Fox began with the passion for hunting of humans.
Tally-ho! Hooray! Let's ride! Let's ride!
At the end of the 19th century, when British settlers arrived in Australia, they brought the red fox with them for the simple purpose of serving sport hunting. But no one expected that the pastime of the aristocracy would open a dark chapter in the ecological history of the entire continent. In the new environment, the red fox had almost no natural enemies. The temperate climate, abundant food sources, and the amazing reproductive ability of a female that could give birth to 2 litters per year, each litter of up to 10 pups helped them multiply rapidly beyond control. Within a few decades, millions had spread across the southern and central states, from Victoria to New South Wales, destroying crops and decimating native animals that had never feared this predator. They had no need for strength. They won with adaptation and intelligence. At night, packs of red foxes crept through grasslands, forest edges, and even suburban villages, leaving behind only feathers, blood, and the screeching of chickens. No other exotic predator has caused as much damage to Australia as the red fox. Once introduced for entertainment, they have now become the continent's #1 ecological threat. According to Australian government estimates, there are more than 7.2 million red foxes living across the country, with a range stretching from southern states like Victoria and New South Wales to the arid central west. Each year, red fox packs kill about 300 million native animals, including birds, chickens, hares, small marsupials, and even rare species like bilbies and bettongs. A series of native animals that have never faced this type of predator are on the brink of extinction. Statistics from the Department of Environment and Energy show that at least 20 native species have completely disappeared, mainly due to the spread of red foxes. Not only do they kill wildlife, red foxes also cause economic damage of more than $200 million USD a year, including slaughtered poultry, lost livestock, and population control costs. They sneak into farms, dig up chicken coops, and slaughter entire flocks in one night just to satisfy their hunting instincts. What do you think when a species brought for entertainment has now become Australia's biggest ecological disaster? Leave your comments below. Ecologists call the red fox the perfect predator, compact, agile, highly adaptable, and with an excellent memory. They operate alone at night, avoid traps, recognize human scent, and even change routes when they feel they are being watched. In the middle of a scorching hot afternoon, the grasslands of South Australia seem to be smoking. The sound of off-road vehicle engines tore through the silence. the red fox hunters began their pursuit in broad daylight, working with the government's ecological control force in a giant campaign of war between humans and Australia's most cunning predator. From the sky, drones circled, scanning the ground with infrared cameras, detecting fast-moving heat spots in the bushes. On the ground, smart traps with GPS were set along the trails, waiting for the right moment. A short whistle sounded, signaling that the signal had been sent. The hunting team immediately deployed their formation, rifles raised, scopes reflecting the dazzling sunlight. In front, a red fox appeared and disappeared among the grass, its eyes shining, its body moving quickly like a trail of smoke. The hunter closed in, held his breath, tightened the trigger. Bang! The bullet tore through the air, dust flew everywhere. The animal disappeared into the grass, leaving behind a faint trail of footprints leading to the trap that had been set. At the edge of the forest, 1,080 poison baits were scattered in a controlled manner, marked with GPS coordinates. A precise battlefield down to the centimetre. Everything happened quickly, neatly, and no mistakes were allowed. In the blazing sunlight, the hunt was no longer a game, but a battle to regain the right to survive on their own land. The battle between humans and red foxes had no winners, because the real enemy was not the animals, but the imbalance created by humans. Only by knowing how to stop and respect the limits of nature can humans coexist with all species in a harmonious ecosystem. This hunt has no winners, only valuable lessons. What do you think about how humans control invasive species? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to follow the most dramatic and true survival stories. From above, the reconnaissance drone glided over the arid valleys. The infrared eye scanned continuously, recording the thermal images of each individual moving. On the ground, the hunters moved carefully. They carried tranquilizer guns, GPS, and tracking devices to track each dragon after capture. Suddenly, a giant black shadow appeared in the middle of the sunburned grassland, a Komodo nearly 3 meters long. No one said anything. The team immediately took position, one holding the scope, one controlling the drone, one holding the gun, waiting for the decisive moment. A soft pop sounded. The anesthetic needle pierced the steel-thick skin. The dragon roared, thrashed violently, then slowly collapsed. Everything returned to silence. Only the sound of the wind blowing through the yellow grass and the heavy breathing of the beast temporarily falling asleep.